The retard.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Ball podcast. It is your host Ian. Joining me as always is Justin White, and we have a few guests today on today's show. We have JP and Simon. I hope I pronounced it right. Simon there. Simon is a Man U fan, correct, Simon?
Yep.
Yep, and JP an Arsenal Gunner fan.
Absolutely right.
So there's that. So, but yeah, fellas, welcome on to the pod. How's everyone's week going so far?
This week's
Yeah, it's
good.
go
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Go
it
ahead.
is. There it is.
that was gonna happen. Going well. It's obviously we got one day until the World Cup. World Cup kicks off in less than 24 hours. Uh,
Yeah.
so definitely excited about that. I know I was talking to you before, Ian. I was in the city today in the office, and the city is just it's getting to that time where you can start to see all these international fans from all around the country start to take over New York and all the different soccer jerseys. The path, NJ Transit was a nightmare today,
Yeah.
but hey, we're officially here. World Cup is almost here, man.
Thank God.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. And we got a lot of awesome topics to cover. We will be covering some of the World Cup. Definitely really excited for it. I mean, it comes around once a year. I hope we don't fuck it up. Like, I really hope we don't fuck it up. That's my biggest concern. And are the prices going up for the NG Transit? Did they tell you that? Like, what's that situation like? Because I did hear that they might go up to like $100 on the train. I heard.
I think currently right now they're up to, I believe it's 94.
Wow.
I
So
think
where is that the line to though? Is that like from Penn Station out
I
to
believe I
MetLife?
believe that's Penn Station to wherever it's by MetLife. It's not even directly to MetLife. That's another issue.
I did not know
Is that
that. I thought it
Yeah,
was
no,
um
directly to MetLife.
MetLife doesn't have a train station.
no, they don't. Um from what I've heard, you still have to walk 1.3 miles to get to MetLife.
Oh
Um
my gosh.
which could be a struggle for some. Most Europeans and South Americans, Africans, they'll probably be fine with it, but some of us people here in the United States, it might be little difficult to get to. But
Yeah, those
I'm here
Ubers are
for
gonna
it.
make a killing too. They really are.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, as far as today's episode goes, we have a few different topics that we're going to be covering off on. We're going to be bouncing around a bit. We're going to start off with the Premier League because it's our favorite league. We're going to go over the transfers needed for each top six club, and those clubs are Arsenal that we're going by. Top six is like, you think of it relatively. Anyway, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspurs. I don't consider them a top six club. This is Justin's making. He wanted to make it. I think Spurs are shit.
Well, they are considered the
Imagine
big
they got
six
fucking
category.
relegated. Okay, so there you go.
Totally
Big
If
agree.
six.
they were
Okay.
relegated, yes, then we wouldn't obviously having this conversation.
Anyway, then we will talk about the transfers that each of these clubs needs that will make the most sense for them. Obviously, a lot of these clubs do need to make moves. Obviously, in Arsenal's case, to stay on top, for others, like a Spurs, to make themselves relevant again. Chelsea as well, because we're at this point, we're not relevant either. And then one player each club needs to sell, just totally get rid of. And then we're going to break down two of our must-watch World Cup matches from this first match week. Match week starting on Thursday. What does it conclude next Thursday? I want to say it goes Thursday to Thursday is the first set of matches. And then the one player that we want to watch from those matches that we have picked. So we do have a lot on the docket today. Like I said before, we also have four people on the pod. So I'm sure there's going to be we're gonna try not to talk over each other. I'm sure it'll happen again, but I'm gonna set it up right now. Yeah, raise your hand, please. But fellas, you ready to dive in?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Wow, we didn't talk over each other. Love it. First topic: transfers needed for each top six club: Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Man U, Liverpool, Spurs. So I'm thinking that we do it this way. We'll go like Arsenal, and then we'll give our takes on the players they need, and then just kind of go down that way if that works for y'all.
Yep.
Yeah. And we can
Absolutely.
obviously want to start with JP since he's the Arsenal fan.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, JP, let's start with you. And who do the Gunners need to stay on top?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you guys for having me on the pod. Super excited to talk footy with you guys. And the first guy that I'm going with in the transfer window for Arsenal is, I think we need another explosive winger. I think that's the 100% the biggest need, and I got one guy in mind, and that guy is Morgan Rogers. I would absolutely love him. I think he would fit Arteta's system really, really well. Um, every time he touches the ball, something happens. I watched a lot of Villa this year, and guy's just an incredible player. What that price tag looks like, I'm not sure. Probably real expensive with the inflation on this market. Kind of scared to see what it could be, but that's the guy that I think that's Arsenal's guy.
I think that's a good shout. And I think that's the guy that Chelsea wanted. And I was not high on it because I think we need, after a lot of, like, we would need the next person that we bring in, I think, as far as Chelsea goes, attacking wise, to be like better than Morgan Rogers. Like, because he will need to be our main scorer or main source, right? Like, Arsenal has other pieces. So I think Morgan Rogers, in the case of Arsenal, that's a great shout. I also went scoring winger. For me, I actually went, with the fella out of Sporting CP, Francisco Trincao, somebody who played with Jokeris as well. He's a scoring winger. He can play on the right or the left. He can also play attacking midfield. He's fast, he's dynamic, and like I said, he can score. And I think that is something Arsenal needs to have consistency, especially on the wings with scoring. When we get into the cells, we'll talk about, because I have Arsenal selling wingers, but they need to have scoring wingers. We talked about it before. Saka is not a scoring winger. Noni Madueke, as you saw today already, missing a wide open net in this friendly. It's just absurd. Not like, there's just not scoring wingers. So I think
Yeah.
they need some more scoring. I'll say it one more time, scoring wingers, especially to go far, well, continue to go far and then win that Champions League competition where that second goal, that third goal obviously would have sealed it for them.
Go ahead, Simon.
So I thought winger at first too. But I actually went a different route. I think this might be an unpopular opinion. I think y'all need a new keeper. I've seen Raya make so many big mistakes in important games. I like Mike Magnan or Emi Martinez for that.
JP, if you want to comment on this one,
JP.
as an Arsenal fan, this
I
one's
know
all you,
Um,
man.
it's gonna be unpopular.
yeah, no, I think that's very unpopular. I'm not even kidding. Not even as an Arsenal fan, I honestly think David Raya is the best keeper in the world right now. Um, I'm being so dead serious. Incredible shot stopper. Um, he's made some mistakes,
Got
but
two hot
very
takes in the last 3 minutes.
very
It's bad.
I yeah I don't know. I really think David Raya is just incredible. Not even being biased from an Arsenal standpoint. Like if you've watched him play, um, he without him Arsenal doesn't win the league. There's no
I
question.
I do agree with that statement right there.
I
And I
think
know
they
the defense has a lot to stay and they made his job a lot easier this year just because how
For sure.
strong that defense was. But I do agree, Simon, that take was absolutely crazy. You may be drunk. But I still do think he is one of the best goalies in the world. And obviously the clean sheets do prove it. Obviously not facing it, not as many shots as other teams because of the defense, like I said, but I still think he is one of the best. The only thing he's not good is saving penalty kicks because he jumps really early for those.
Well, we
I
saw that.
if City had been a better team in the final stretch of the Prem, Raya would have been the reason they lost. He threw 2 goals away to City.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna go to my
We got
my next. That's a good hot take, so definitely gonna
hot
clip
takes
that.
on the keeper.
But I kind of went the same route as JP, but I kind of went to me again. This could be a little bit of a hot take as well. I went Arsenal for a striker. I think they need a true killer up front. I think Yorkers is good, but I think need someone who turns draws into wins and finishes the chances they already create. And I think Gyökeres, and it could just be the first year adapting to the Premier League. And obviously Kai Havertz is behind him, and we know what he can do. He likes to score in finals and big games. But I also think a guy like Morgan Rogers, He gives Arsenal another powerful ball carrier. And the thing about him, I would like with Arsenal, he can play the left wing. He can play the number 10. He
Mm,
can even play a false. He can play a false nine as well for Arsenal. So he gives you that different flow on that Arsenal squad.
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Well, three of us agree. One thinks that they need a keeper, but
Right,
um,
right winger was my first uh, idea. Although I think if y'all got a right wing, you should look at Francisco Conceição.
this is the guy I said.
That's who he said.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I thought you said Trincao.
I think I just totally butchered it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the guy from the Portuguese fella from Sporting.
I don't know if he is on Sporting. Conceição.
Yeah, he
Um,
is. I'm pretty sure he's on Sporting.
all right. We can also, while you look that up, we can dive into Chelsea. And Justin, do you want to start with this or should I?
No,
Uh,
Oh, go ahead, Simon.
Conceição's a Juventus player.
Okay.
I think he used to be at Sporting.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
all right. So I feel like Chelsea can go really a bunch of routes here with how their team is. I went with a center back. Obviously, I feel like they have talent all around the field, but I feel like the center back spot is the one spot they need a calm, reliable leader defensively. Like obviously, as of now, we have Chalobah, Colwill, Tosin, Achimpong, Sarr, Badiashile, and Fofana. And when I look at all those center backs, the one that I do trust the most is Colwill. And obviously, he was hurt most of the Chelsea season, but the other ones, they're not reliable to me as a Chelsea fan. So the one person I would bring in, and listen, I know I said more of like an experienced center back, but this is someone who has been playing for a couple years, very young, will definitely fit the Chelsea model. Young, 22, 23 years old, give him a 7-year contract. Uh, who's technical and has experience for the Portugal national team, Benfica, is Antonio Silva.
Mm.
Another center back who's kind of similar to Colwell, who's very calm on the ball, and to me, the most important thing is able to break the lines. The
Okay.
first central attacking mids on the opposition going forward. So that's who I think Chelsea should bring over, even though there is probably plenty of options we can go for here.
There are. And I went the striker position. I've been yelling about it long enough. I do like Yao Pedro, but I want a big name, man. I want a big name. I want either Igor Thiago or I want Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen, I don't think we're going to get him, but that is the caliber of player that we need to bring in. We need to bring in somebody with experience who has scored. I mean, Igor Thiago is doing it with Brentford in the Premier League right now. Osimhen's done it across different leagues, but they have scored in different situations. They scored in high pressure situations. We need those type of players because when the going got tough last season, we collapsed. We had no veteran leadership. That whole squad, as soon as Maresca left, it was just like a downhill. Like nobody knew how to act because they lost their manager halfway through the season, and there was just no veteran presence there to kind of right the ship. We need somebody who's been there, done that. So give me a striker and give me somebody who's like big name. Give me a Thiago or an Osimhen.
So if we got Thiago or we got Osimhen, is Joe Pedro getting benched? Are you
No, we're
putting him
going
at
two
you
up top, baby.
going to up top? Okay. I didn't know if you're going to throw him
Somebody
at the
needs to score
10.
on this team. Somebody needs to score. We don't have a winger
Yeah.
that could score. I mean, as of right now, we're in dire situation. Dire.
That's
We need
fair enough.
scoring.
It's fair.
No, we do. All right, Simon, let's hear it from you. Let's hear your second hot take.
All right. No. All right. First off, I'll say my position is center back too, but I felt more a Bastoni or Romero, kind of just like a strong defender rather than a ball player.
I like
But
Bastoni.
I also think that you guys would benefit from a different owner. I don't think Bowley's the man that's going to take you guys there.
I
I
agree, and
agree.
that's we
I
we can
agree.
definitely another time. That's a whole conversation we can
Yeah,
go at
that's a
him.
whole podcast. That's a really good take. I'm glad you took it there because I could rant and rant. Did you hear that they don't even watch Bengali and Todd Bowley don't even watch matches from the same owner's box?
Sounds about right.
It
Yeah.
surprised me.
A report came out recently, and the relationship is purely professional. So that's good. That's good. You want your co-owners to have a just purely professional relationship. So yeah, they don't even watch matches together. Perfect. Fuck. Oh boy. JP, who you got?
Yeah, so I also went center back here for Chelsea. Um, I like this German kid, Nico Schlotterbeck.
Yeah, he's
I
good from
think
Dortmund.
I think that he would be really solid. I don't know if he would love to make that transfer to the Premier League. Obviously, playing at home at in Germany at Dortmund, and that atmosphere is incredible. But I mean, to turn down a club like Chelsea would be pretty difficult when they're sitting in the position that they are. I mean, to have a shot to be part of that come back up would, I feel like, would be really cool. I mean, again, there's a lot of center backs out there that they could go for, but I could see that working out at Chelsea
Yeah, he would also get a really big increase in wages, obviously, because the
Yeah.
Bundesliga teams don't have the same salaries as the Premier
for
League teams
sure.
do.
Yeah,
All right, good takes, love it,
I'm just
man.
glad we all know what the problem is with Chelsea. We all said center backs. Besides you, Ian, you said forward.
He also said owner. There's a lot of problems at Chelsea. There's a lot of problems at Chelsea. Honestly, if let me redo it all, ownership. Yeah, because it all stems from the top down. Like we saw it with Manchester United. Like it all stems from the top. When the top is shit, the whole house collapses. Man City. And I'm going with the top, and I'm going with they need a new coach. And I know Enzo Maresca hasn't started already, but holy hell, they are in for a lot of trouble because if you think that things were systematic under Pep, they're only going to get more systematic and more boring under Enzo Maresca. He is a very boring coach. He also throws his players under the bus like a lot. He also throws his ownership under the bus like a lot. Two things that I do not think are going to fly at Man City after the way that Pep treated his team and the ownership, right? Like Pep was a stand-up, just class act. Everybody always raved about wanting to have him as a coach because he is a player's coach. So I think they're in trouble with that. And I think the next man up there is Xavi. I think he comes back same, very similar to Pep with the Barcelona way of playing. I think they actually probably did play together. They were playing in that same like time frame, right? That tiki taka approach to the game. So I can see that. And he'll have that prestige when you walk in the locker room. My fear with Enzo Maresca, and I think it was such a big jump to Chelsea, and I think he was able to get the attention of the locker room because they were young players. I think going into a Man City locker room, it's totally different. These guys have won the treble, they've won multiple Premier Leagues. How is he going to be able to gain the respect of the locker room? That's that big and that experience. I do not know. Some of them I know the point is, some of them might have known him as an assistant coach, but like, I don't know, the assistant coach, we've all played sports. The head coach is the guy you want to impress. The assistant coach is the guy that's there holding the clipboard. It's like Justin showing up to the practices, carrying the waters for Pep.
Who, me?
Only Justin on the pod today.
Didn't know you talking to someone else. I don't know. I don't appreciate that disrespect right there, for being honest.
Oh,
Just kidding. Justin won some championships, right? You won a state title
I did win a
as a
state
coach.
title.
put
I did.
some respect on his name.
Yeah, exactly. What did you win?
I've
Your
never
fucking
coached.
FIFA career, your FIFA career mode doesn't count either.
All right, Jay. Who you got, Man City? Who do you think what do they
So
need?
I think they need a center mid. Uh, I think the defense is set. I think the goalkeeper set. I think up top, obviously with Holland. I think out wide they're fine. But I think they need like another midfield succession piece, someone who can. I look at it like Man City's been stacked in the midfield for the last years. They've had Kevin De Bruyne in his prime for many years. They had Rodri as well. I think Rodri's still good, but I still think he's going to take it down a level
Bernardo
just
Silva's
because
leaving.
him as well, but because of the age
Right.
and those ACL injuries and stuff like that. And obviously, he still is on Man City still, but there is rumors that he could be leaving as well. So I think a perfect person to bring in, Premier League proven, press resistant, aggressive, and comfortable controlling games is Bruno Guimaraes from
Yeah,
Newcastle.
that's a good.
I,
I
I,
like I liked him
I
for Chelsea too. He's a great
yeah,
center
I
midfielder.
think he comes right into Man City and makes them Again, I think Arsenal are the favorites to win the Premier League next year, and I think it's by a lot right now. But I think someone like him who comes in and makes them back to title contenders, and that could be a little of a hot take of going through the two teams. But obviously, Man City with Enzo is going to be a whole completely different team of how he wants to play. But I think like bringing Bruno G in, I think he's great for Newcastle. Can do everything
Yeah.
offensively, defensively. He scores goals. He's physical.
Yeah,
His
I
work
love
his
him.
work rate good. So I
I
think he'd
love
be a
him.
good signing for
I would
Man
love him
City.
at Chelsea. If Chelsea lose Enzo Fernandez, which I have a very strong feeling that they do this summer, and they've already talked about bringing in Bruno.
Yeah.
Um, he fits a lot of molds, man. He's great. I would love him or a Sandro Tonali too. But Simon, who do you got? Your
So
crosstown rival.
I think they need a flair player, an explosive player. I like Nico Williams. I think he could play that left wing spot. I don't quite think Doku is good enough. He doesn't really score. I mean, he's flary, but he doesn't score many goals. And I think Nico can also slot in the midfield if he needs to.
Okay.
I do like watching him play. He
I
is
do
a
like him.
very
I think he's
energetic
bigger
and
than the team he's at.
enjoyable.
for
Well,
sure.
didn't he sign like a
He
7 year
resigned.
contract?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
last summer he
Yeah,
was going to go to Barca.
because he
And
wanted to
that's
play
how
with
I
Lamine
remember
Yamal,
that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, he definitely belongs in the Prem. City would be a good fit for him, right? Yeah, I think you're absolutely right because Doku is flary. And I think a lot of people hype him up because same thing with Saka. He looks good. There's no end product. There's
Yeah.
just no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. There's no, I like giving Saka strays, but like it's true. Like if you look at Doku's numbers, he probably has less than 10 GAs this season. And he
But
I
probably
agree.
played in how many matches? Like
Dude,
45?
And the
Premier League.
thing that's a shame about Doku is when you watch him play, like he's a tremendous player, absolutely
absolutely.
Yeah.
incredible. You watch him one on one, and he wins so many of those battles. If he could work on his finishing, I think he could honestly be one of the best wingers in the
Yeah.
Prem.
Yeah.
I'm like if he was able to finish, but that's a big what if, right? Because
Right.
finishing
Big what if.
that's a massive part of the game. So if you can't finish, yeah, you'll never be there. So I agree with that though. I would love to see. I mean, I wouldn't love to see it as an Arsenal fan, but Nico Williams in the Premier League playing for City would be a pleasure to watch as a fan. I
It's
could say
definitely a city move too, just going in and
yes,
dropping a ton of money on somebody.
Yeah.
definitely.
JP,
Doku
who do you
had
got? Oh,
5 goals, 5 assists in 30 matches in the Premier League, by the way.
See, that's
okay.
And half
that's
and half of those were like the last couple of games of the
yeah,
season where
they
he was
were
scoring those bangers cutting in far post.
they were made the title race a little bit more interesting towards the end.
So a
Um,
GA in every third of a match. Do we think that's good enough?
Definitely not,
Yeah.
Nah.
not for City standards at least.
No, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
JP, who you got?
Yes. So I said either a center back or a center mid. And actually, a little bit of a hot take. I think that they could go. I know they've been linked to who was it? Elliot Anderson, the Nottingham
Yeah.
Forest kid,
Yeah.
who's
I think they just
incredible.
did
I
it.
saw that his transfer could possibly be 120, which I think is absolutely absurd. But that's a whole nother story. I think that their center mid has actually been playing amongst them this entire time, and I think it's Nico O'Reilly. I think that he could slot into that center midfielder and kind of like Miles Lewis Skelly this season, he could fit in there and he could be a really really solid center midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, he's already done it a lot for him. I think he's already
Yeah,
done that for Pep. We already see him attacking a lot. He scored two of those goals
right,
in the FA Cup match against was that
right,
Southampton. That was the reason they even advanced.
right,
So that's a good. A lot of those players do end up moving. Some of those better fullbacks with the ball end up moving into those holding midfield positions,
right.
especially.
And he's a young kid, right? So to give a young kid the center of the field in the Premier League when you're fighting for titles, not super ideal, right? But
Right.
the way you ease them in there, I mean, it's just like Miles Lewis Skelly. Not comparing the two. I honestly,
Very similar to
I
Reece James, though. Reece James will pop up in that midfield position a lot too.
yeah, absolutely.
That's a
Actually
whole
think
new tactic wise though of all coaches now, like how it's changed the game, like all these inverted fullbacks and you have all these different rotations of how they're moving on the field and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think literally right before we started, City bid 121 million for
Yeah,
Elliot.
there was an 121 million bid on Elliot Anderson a bit earlier today.
That
So
just
that'll be
shows you how
interesting to
the
see.
market is.
It's
Yeah, that's a lot
And
of
he's a
money.
great player. Don't he was really good for
It's a lot
Nottingham
of
this
money for
year,
him, though.
but
It's a
it's a
lot of
lot
money
for
for
him.
him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money for anybody, really. Manchester United. Simon, let's see. Who do you guys need? You tell us.
So I think I think we need more than one position. I think we need a couple, but I think the big one is a CDM. I think Casemiro is going to leave a gaping hole because if I see Ugarte step in that midfield,
Yeah, it's
that can't
not
happen.
a good. Yeah.
My pick, and I really don't know that we can maybe not even afford him, but I don't think he'd come. Is Chouameni?
Okay.
I think he fits the profile perfectly. He's good on the ball. He's strong defensively. He fits the aerial threat that we have to replace with Casemiro because Casemiro had like 8 or 9 goals
Had a
off
goal. He had a lot of headers. Yeah.
headers. Yeah, without him, it's like Maguire's our only other real aerial threat in free kicks because for some
It's
reason
fair.
they
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
score headers.
That's fair. No, I agree. I think Manchester United definitely needs a holding midfielder as well. I think you hit it on the head. Casemiro is going to leave a huge hole. So I went that same thing as well. I went, though, with somebody who's already in the Premier League with a bit of experience, another Newcastle guy with Sandro Tonali. I do think Newcastle is going to kind of have to sell off pretty quickly. It's a few years in a row with them not making the Champions League. So I know a lot of these guys are in the market. They're accepting offers. And I think Tonali is a really good piece. He also has the ability to crash in the box and score. He's done so with Italy. He's done so with Newcastle. He's a really, really strong midfielder. I could see him ending up there. I think he would fit that mold quite well. He's a hard-nosed player. I think he would fit that Manchester United kind of he fits the pedigree.
He's actually one of like I got 3 players here. Chumeni's my number one, but he's one of the ones on my list.
Tchouaméni, I could say, I mean, he's great. I just don't know. Leaving Real Madrid is always hard, right? Because Real Madrid's paying you the most wages in the
Right.
world, right? And you're leaving Madrid, right? It's always tough. So
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going the same way as you guys. I also went with the central midfielder. I just think you need leaving Casemiro leaving just going to hurt them defensively, not as much offensively, besides obviously the set pieces and the headers that he got that you were saying, Simon. But I think they need someone who can control the legs and is consistent in the middle because I feel like defensively they're very easy to play through. And obviously, you need someone to support Bruno. Like Bruno had a great year. We said player of the year, but I think he's going to need more support in the middle and someone who I think fits in. Isn't like the biggest well-known guy, but I think he just does the job with not getting much credit is Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace.
wow, Adam Wharton.
Uh,
That's a
very,
guy. That's
very
a
calm.
player.
You get a left-footed central midfielder, very composed, can receive under pressure. And I think what Man United lacks is when the game gets chaotic and he's able to help control those games for them. I also could see them bringing in, this is just another one because I know they've been linked for him for the last year and a half as Carlos Baleba from Brighton. I know he's been linked for the last like year and a half with them, but I think his asking price they said was like over 80 million too, and I think Man United was like we're not going to pay 80 million for him.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know if I can deal with another left-footed player being in our lineup. We have like a ridiculous amount right now.
Well,
It gets so one-sided
that
sometimes.
that is fair. So who do you got, JP?
All right. So, shocker. Just along as you guys, I went a center midfielder. Um, I don't think that they're going to be able to fill that Casemiro gap this year right away. I don't see it happening. Um, but I think that a guy that would be really interesting for Man United is looking over at Bournemouth and looking at Alex Scott. Not really
Yeah.
sure if it fills that defensive center mid role necessarily, but I think it'd be a fun watch.
I agree. I
Um,
just don't think they're deep in the central midfield part now with him leaving because when you really look at their team, like who they have, Mason Mount. Mason Mount's not the same as he used to be. You
Never.
have you still have Kobe Mano, but Kobe Mano's he's never healthy for a full season. And
right.
then you said like Simon, you said Ugarte, he's not not saying he's awful, but he's not that central midfield
No,
piece you're looking for.
he's awful. He is probably one of the worst United players I've seen in a long time.
Moving along, we do have Liverpool. Liverpool, I went with Liverpool. I went with a scoring winger. They're going to have to replace Mo Salah. They're going to have to start getting some threats in that forward position if they want to get back to the glory they had. Gakpo obviously hadn't been scoring for them, so they do need to replace. They need to replace a lot of output. So I had a couple different players at the wing position, but I'm going to land with a player because I do think he ends up leaving Juventus, especially since they didn't make the Champions League, and that's Kenan maybe Yildiz out of Juventus. He's out of Turkey. Excellent playmaking flair. He's just power, pace, a lot of instinct, really good dribbler, explosive striker of the ball. I think he's very similar to a younger version of Mo Salah. And if they're able to kind of develop him a little further in that scoring, I definitely think they might have their man. He's got some swagger in him. He's played in a lot of top competitions. He's a top player already for Turkey. So yeah, give me
I
Yildiz. I also
yeah,
thought about Rafael Leao. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I think he fits Bournemouth style of play too. So sorry,
Aerials,
not sorry.
yeah.
You meant Liverpool style since he's there now. I think he'd be a great like winger who's will get high up the field, press. He's got the legs in him and everything like
Hmm.
that. So I
Yep.
like that.
But in
Uh,
Serie A, they got to track back.
yeah. So I
Mhm.
went a little different way. I went a center back. Obviously we know Konate's leaving. Who's supposedly did he sign? I think he's official at Real Madrid, I believe.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so. Yeah, or they're in the medical stage, or whatever. Uh, Van Dyke's not the same anymore.
No.
Obviously he was in his prime. He had a great 2 or 3 years at Liverpool, but just the older he gets, it makes it harder for that central back spot. And the only other center back I really think about is Joe Gomez. Those are the only two. When you really look at the three center
Yeah.
backs of who they really have, obviously you have Frimpong and Kirkes, but they're more of outside backs. So the one person I would bring in is, I think you guys said this as well. I think you guys were trying to figure out which one it was. Is Gonzalo Ignacio from Sporting? Uh,
Ah,
yeah, the
yeah.
left-footed center back, good on the ball. And Sporting's been a team in the Portuguese league who's been dominant for a couple of years, and I think he just profiles a long-term Van Dijk who can build from the back. Uh, which I think Liverpool are going to need, especially with the style that they're going to play this year with the new head coach. Instead of possession based, more getting the ball, counter attacks, playing with speed and pressing. So
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
call. There's a lot of great players on that sporting team. There really are.
yes,
I went the exact same way. I was kind of stuck between winger and center back, but I thought for winger they got Rio and Gamoa right there.
very good. He's going to be good for years.
Yeah, he is.
But I think they need, same as Chelsea. I think they need a Bastoni to fit in there. I think Kanate leaving is going to be a huge gap. Joe Gomez has just never been up to snuff. I don't think he's good enough to go in.
Yeah, I agree. If they were deeper at center back, I'd probably go a different position as well. But like you said, they really don't have anyone. But
No,
I
really don't.
think I
They lost a lot of players. They lost
yeah,
yeah,
Robertson, Salah to retirement. They just lost Konate. It's two pretty big pieces.
it didn't help.
Isaac, is he going to be healthy? Is Ekatike going to be healthy? Right. There's a lot of ifs in Liverpool right now.
And I
Right.
think Iraola has to figure out how to use Frimpong because Slot had no clue what he was
that's a
doing.
very good shout.
He handpicked Frimpong and has no idea how to use him.
Yeah.
It's so strange, right? Like it's so strange how managers would be like, "Oh, I want this guy," and then just have no idea how to use the guy. Drives me nuts. JP, what do you think about Liverpool?
Yeah.
Who do you think they're
So
going to get?
I actually went winger as well. Again, I agree with you guys. I think there's quite a few needs. Center back could have easily went center back here because I think they need a center back as well. Um, I don't. I'm not really sure on a transfer for them though. Who would fit? I mean, I saw what's that? The young kid from Ivory Coast. I want to say
Don't say Ahmad.
no, no, not Ahmad, not Ahmad. No,
God.
he's staying with United. Um, give me a sec. I gotta find his name. Um, I was watching him. I thought that could have been a good call for Liverpool. A young, pacey winger. Um, I gotta find who it was. I was watching highlights and watching a little bit of his stuff.
You know what team he plays on?
I think he was playing in the Bundesliga.
Is it Due's brother?
No, it wasn't Due's brother.
Oh,
Um,
Diamante.
yes.
Or-
Thank
From
you, thank
Leipzig,
you.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes,
good.
that's who I was looking at for Liverpool. Um, just a pacey guy. Um, I really think that would bring an interesting element to that team. Obviously, Salah's gone. It sucks for them. Not that I'm praying for Liverpool to have a quick turnaround, but yeah, I think that would be an interesting signing for them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a two-pronged approach for them. Solidify the defense and then definitely either get some speed and scoring options on the wing or try to figure out how to score with the options you already have. I actually was looking at some of the wingers, so I was like, who would be a good fit? I was like, oh, Luis Diaz. I was like, wait, he was already there. And they somehow gave him away for like nothing. He's now one of the best left wingers in the world. That was
Yeah, I don't
terrible.
know why they did that.
Not a good call. Not a good play out of Liverpool. And now bring up to the mighty, mighty Spurs. For the Spurs, I have them needing a striker. And for them, I also put Igor Thiago. I think it could be a race with Chelsea to get Igor Thiago. I could see that transpiring because I don't think Igor Thiago ends up staying at Brentford this summer. I really don't, especially if he ends up scoring and playing well for Brazil. But I think he's ready for that next step. But I think for the Spurs, I mean, they just need somebody who's consistently putting the ball in the back of the net for them, preferably a leader, right? They had Harry Kane for how long, right? Was he at Tottenham? And then since he's left, they've tried different options. They've tried, Richarlison. They've tried, what's his name? Dominic Solante or
Volante.
Dominic Solante. And it's just not working, right? So they need a bona fide striker. Otherwise, goals, I mean, we saw last season, goals are hard to come by there. They're very hard to come by. If they can get somebody who like an Igor Thiago who can make goals happen out of almost nothing, especially when he was playing at Brentford. I think that's a really big step in the right direction and something they really need.
Yeah, I feel like for like a Spurs team, like you probably could say everyone. You could
You
say
the Spurs, you could say
yeah,
any position, right?
you
You
can
could
say
say
Easily.
any you
anything.
can say any position. Uh, and I think like you can go offensively and go defensively because they couldn't score goals. They were conceding too many. So I went more of like a center back or a center defensive mid. So I just think like again they need more defensive security. Like they can attack. Like I'm not saying they can't attack, but they can't finish. But I feel like they just concede way too many big chances for a club like them.
Yeah,
So uh,
it's
this
bad
is some
everywhere. They're
yeah.
shit.
I said this player already
Shit.
too, and I could see Tottenham paying that asking price that they want that Man United wouldn't pay. Carlos Baleba.
Okay.
I think it's just another young piece for Tottenham that can really own that midfield. And when you look at their central midfielders, you look at Xavi Simons. He's been a bust for Tottenham. You look at Paulinho that they brought in. He's been probably a little below average. Madison hasn't been able to stay healthy the last year
Yeah.
and a half. You have Koloveski, who was out the entire year with
Hurt. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
injury that just kept going on and on. You have
And it's
Gallagher.
been years of
Yeah,
injuries with them,
yeah,
right? Like it's the same thing that Ange was talking about 3 years when he took over, right?
yeah.
3 years ago he took over and they took off hot and then they cooled off. And it's like all those injuries have been lingering for like 2 years.
Yeah, you have Connor Gallagher. He's great, great work rate, but he's not the same.
That's
They're
what he is.
just
He's just a work
yeah,
rate guy.
they're just like the central midfield to me is just average to below average pieces that just don't do the job
Yeah.
for you. And
Yeah.
obviously we know the central midfield is probably the most important positions on the field.
Yeah.
So
And I have a question. I'm curious because like a player, and it happened before too when I was thinking about another Man United with a holding midfielder. Is there any chance that any of those PSG players ever leave?
Not a
Like
chance.
Yao Neves, Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, or Vitinha? Like, is there any chance that those four players, I could see Dembele leaving, but those four in particular, those wingers and midfielders ever leaving?
I
I
do think Barcola could find his way out, just because I do feel like he could be seen as an odd man out when
Yeah, yeah,
everyone's rolling and everyone's under fire. I don't see Vitinha leaving. I don't see Yao Neves, especially since they're both really good friends, Portuguese guys playing together in a club team. Think about it. If you're playing with your boy, right, you're not going to want to leave that club, and you're playing at the top level
yeah,
in
yeah.
Paris. Would be really, really difficult for me to see them leaving. Barcola, maybe. I think that someone will be willing to pay top dollar for him. And Crevachel is interesting. I don't see him leaving. I honestly think he's their best player.
I do too. I do
Um,
too. That I want him if Chelsea were to ever make a move on a left winger, which is another piece that we so desperately need, I
yeah,
would want him because he torched us in the Champions League.
absolutely incredible
Torched
player.
us. He's crazy good and when it matters, he's crazy good, right? And that's when
Yeah,
we need him. But for
exactly.
Chelsea, it's very tough. I always go back to him because when you're not making the Champions League consistently, nobody wants to fucking play there.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
So
only one of those four I could really ever see leaving is Barcola, just because I think he's never going to get ahead of Kvaratskhelia. He's always going to be behind him.
yeah,
And
you
I
have to
think
play off
he's
the
gonna wanna,
right.
he's
Yeah.
such a good player. I think he's going to want to get off of his
Yeah.
shadow.
I
yeah, I
think it
agree.
also depends on, again, like you have to look at it like when most players look at, oh, like Ian, you said this before, like they get an offer from Real Madrid or Barca. Like, are you going to turn that down? And then I also look at it as like, as long as Luis Enrique is at PSG, there's no reason for it
Big
to leave.
PSG. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think if Luis Enrique does leave, and there is rumors that he may not be there for much longer just because he wants to step down,
Right.
and who they bring in could depend on their future. And obviously, like we said, Bentinha and Joe Neves are so young, and so is Barcola. So I think that plays a big factor. But right now, why would you want to leave a team who's been dominating the league, who's won back-to-back Champions League? Looks like they're going for the three-peat next year. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. On this topic of Spurs, I'm going back. Throw Ollie Watkins actually towards the top of that list. If he ever does end up leaving Aston Villa, which like I feel like every other year that's the conversation. Is Ollie Watkins going to stay at Villa? Throw him on there for Tottenham. I could see them grabbing him up too.
Yeah. So I have a center attacking mid because, I mean, Richarlison's their top scorer. I think they have a little bit more important positions than striker to fill, but I think they need someone to back up their striker. And I like Gibbs White because he could play cam, he could play on the wing if they need him to.
Well, he was supposed to sign there last summer.
I mean, who knows what he's going to do at this point?
now that would make them a game
Days
changer as a
though.
team.
Yeah,
That would
he's
Yeah,
a
make
good
no,
them
it
so
player.
would.
much
It
stronger.
would. It would make sense for Nottingham Forest. Well, it would make a lot of sense. Yeah, he probably wants that payday, but he did just sign that giant contract at Nottingham Forest last year when everything came up.
I can't see him wanting to stay there after they get 17th because of I don't think he's going to keep up like for the next 5 years playing at the level he is. I
So
think
here's my argument to that. They did finish above Spurs, so it would be a step back.
like
Just saying.
I would say yes if you look at the table, but Spurs are not a 17th place team. Like the squad they have when they're
I'm
all
gonna
healthy.
I'm gonna counter argue it. It's 2 years in a row now that they have finished in 17th.
I
Fucking
know.
Tottenham is absolutely a bottom of the table team.
I don't I don't think they stay there. As much as I hate them and I love shitting on them, because some of my friends are Spurs fans,
I
I
think
love
they get relegated next year. I'll double down on
they stay there.
I hope not.
Interesting.
That's an easy 6 points.
Who do you
it.
got, JP?
I like the center back out of Brighton, Jean Paul Van Heck.
Yes, I like him as
Um,
well.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
good.
he's really, really solid guy. Watch him in the Premier League all the time. Just a really solid player. I think he's 25, 26 maybe. Not sure of his age. He's decently young. Um, and I just think that it would do them a favor. A solid young center back to
He's
build a team
26.
off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just a sell player that I mean, I don't even know if this makes sense, but he just looks like a Tottenham player. Like he just looks like he belongs in that uniform. I can't
Yeah.
explain it. He just does. He just does.
That
So
was my
yeah,
other thing.
it's
I'm assuming there's going to be more Brighton players too that are going to end up going to Spurs now that they have their coach back with De Zerbi. Anybody that was on that Brighton team when he was coaching, they might. I could see that absolutely happening.
right.
Like maybe a
Yeah,
Matoma. Maybe he goes to Tottenham. Who knows? Who
Mm.
knows? Uh,
possibility.
moving forward, we have one player each club needs to sell.
And we probably
So
don't need to go into much detail with these, just because we all know the reason they're leaving is because they don't fit or they're shit.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. So for Arsenal, I have either Gabriel Jesus or Leandro Trossard,
Oh,
and they go up top as they don't finish. There's no end product. We talked about this before. I'm a big end product guy at my wingers, if you haven't been able to tell. They need some end product on either the left side or the right side. If Saka and Nodi Madueke are not going to provide end product, something needs to happen from the left side. So I think getting either one or two or both of them off the books and bringing in somebody to replace that is the move there, in my opinion.
You want to go, JP, since you're
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Arsenal
want to hear
guy?
no,
JP.
I actually agree with Ian 100%. Those are the two guys that are at the top of my list. But if I had to sell one,
Oh,
it's got to be Gabby. Sorry, buddy, but it's not working out. He's the third guy up top. He's not playing over Jokeres. He's not playing over Havertz. Doesn't matter what style of ball you're trying to play. It just doesn't fit for the team. It's unfortunate. He's a great guy. He's a great player. He's also hurt a lot. But he's
yeah.
the one that has to go. Trossard is difficult because he even had certain moments this year in the Premier League race that were really key, honestly. But he's not the guy.
He's a
Martinelli
moments
was the
guy.
third that I also had, but I love him for some reason. He can still do things. He defends well. I don't know, but yeah,
I do like
Gabby.
Martinelli a little bit over those two, and that's why I
So do
kept
I.
him off the list. I think he's
Yeah,
just a little bit better. I wouldn't want to let him go.
I
Like you
agree.
said, like I think Trossard, like you had said moments. I think he's a moments guy. Like he'll pop up from time to
Yes,
time. But I think Martinelli is a little bit more consistent. So I agree with
agreed.
that.
Yeah. I'll go off. You guys not gonna go. I had Gabriel Jesus as well. Kind of really everything JP just said. He's the odd man out now.
Yeah.
He's third behind. He's a great player. It was a great player, but he's always hurt. He's always hurt now. So it's just simple. Another team it'd be fine, but just doesn't fit in there anymore.
yeah. So y'all are gonna have to hear me out on this.
Oh God.
God.
Saka. Let me explain why. One, guy's got no end product. All right, you're gonna need a better right winger. I think if you sell him this season, this is the most you will ever get for him right now. I don't think you're gonna get as much next season, and after that, I think Lord knows why. Teams might look at him and still think he could be worth a 120 million price tag, maybe. So I think you get your money for him while you can and get someone who will do the job better.
Go ahead, JP. This is all you here.
So yeah, listen, Simon, I don't actually hate your opinion. I know that's going to sound crazy as an Arsenal fan. I mean, all right. So, do I agree with it? No. Let's put that out there first. I don't agree with it, but I do. I completely understand what you're saying, and I do agree with you in the sense that if, for the craziest reason, they were to sell him, it would have to be this year, and they would easily get the most out of him this year because this is a thing that a lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people do know about Saka, but he's coming back from a really tough injury. It's Achilles, and his knees bothered him, and for a winger, that's pretty serious stuff, right? That's not just like like you get over that, right? Like that, no, that's not something that you necessarily get over. And as you guys said, the end product, it's difficult sometimes. And I love the guy, right? He's an Arsenal product. He's been through the whole system, but um, I hear you. I do hear you. I don't agree with it, but I do hear you.
It's a much
Well,
better reaction than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
I thought
I
there was
was,
going to be, yeah.
I was
yeah.
expecting like up in arms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with it, but I can see your thought process. It's not like a that's absolutely extremely incorrect. Again, would I do it? Absolutely not. But I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Chelsea, I have Enzo Fernandez, and I have for the money, especially if Elliot Anderson is getting $120 million offers. Enzo has already said he wants to kind of go play at Real Madrid. Fine. I'll be very sad to see him leave. But if we can back up the truck and get like 140 or 150 million to go spend, Justin, don't give me that face. If Elliot Anderson's getting 120 million, Enzo Fernandez, I think, can get more than that. He's won a World Cup. And I think he's just better than Elliot Anderson. He had a great year. He had 20 goals and assists this year. Enzo.
No, yeah, no, I completely get that.
If
I think,
if if Elliot's 120, he's got to be going to Madrid 140 plus.
yeah, no, and that kind of be a no-brainer not to take that money, especially if someone doesn't want to look like he wants to play.
Hey, you don't want to be there anymore. And like it's sad because he does still play hard, but like if we could get the money, I almost put Cole Palmer too. For the fact that like we need the money and we continue to not really play that well. If we could get like anywhere close to what his market value is estimated at, which is somehow $176 million, we get anywhere close to that, like you take it, take the money and run to the bank.
I'd be shocked if someone offers over 100 for him. I'm gonna be real.
For who?
Palmer.
His transfer value. We went
Oh,
over this the other
His transfer
day.
value
Well,
is 176, is what's estimated at.
he'd get that no problem with the way the market is right now. I
Yeah.
mean, there's guys that I haven't even heard of some of them, and they're going for 80, and I'm like, are we serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they on FootMob they have him as 105
Oh, really?
transfer value.
Really?
Yeah, 105. Yeah,
Oh, so then it plummeted the other day.
but those aren't
We,
always accurate too.
no,
You
I know,
always
but
think you're gonna get overpaid.
I feel like we
That's
looked and it was
true.
like 170 at one point.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Uh, I have Alejandro Garnacho, Jamie Gittins, and Liam Delap, and we're just gonna go shit, shit, and shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's a lot of
Garnacho,
players from this squad you can drop. You
yeah,
can drop like 20 of them.
Garnacho obviously was maybe a little bit of an exciting signing, but he didn't plan out. Jamie Gittins, I think, played maybe 5 games, was hurt the rest of the year. Liam Delap played like 25 games up top and scored like 2 goals. So, yeah, it's enough for me.
Liam Delap was so bad. He was so bad. Yeah.
Go ahead, Simon or JP.
I got Garnacho. I think he should be paid to stop playing. Like I loved him when he came through his first year and a half. Then he got this big ass ego. Guy thought he was Ronaldo, and now
Didn't
he's
think it was
just
Ronaldo.
shit. He can't do anything. Doesn't track back. Won't take his defender on one. And when he does, like he looks like a fucking. He just looks terrible.
He's not good.
No, he's not. I don't know what happened to him. He's decent for like a year.
He shows moments, right? He shows glimpses where you're like, oh, that's why they wanted him, and then 80% of the time you say, what are we watching here? Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. He's a guy that I easily could have had on my list. I didn't put him. I also had the lap, and I thought it was really interesting because I mean, what, it's his first year at Chelsea, right? And so it's tough for me to choose someone when it's their first year at a club. But I thought he was horrendous.
He was horrible. He was horrible, and
Yeah,
it wasn't just the product. It was then he would just get in he had more yellow cards than goals as a striker.
yeah,
That's really bad, man.
no,
It's not
yeah,
like he played 5 matches. He played 25 matches. Like just really kind of an asinine amount of matches he ended up playing. Um, cool. So we're just gonna kind of speed through the next few. For me, I have Man City. I have Phil Foden for the money and because he isn't playing and he hasn't been playing. I think Phil Foden, it's a bit of a sad story what they've done to him, kind of buried him a bit, but I think he's young enough where City can get the money, and I think he can still leave like a Jack Grealish and find maybe his feet somewhere else.
Yeah,
Justin, what you got?
I have John Stones. I think injuries are starting to become a big concern for him, and I just think they're so young in the back, and they have so many young options there. I just don't think he fits in there anymore. And I think if Pep was still there, I'd say yes, just because how much he likes to rotate. But with Maresca coming in, I just don't think he's going to be that guy anymore.
I agree. Simon, what do you got for City?
Exact same thing as you. I think Foden's got to go. I think he's a great
Ooh.
player, but He hasn't played well in a while, and I think they can get the money for him.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm gonna go Grealish. I know he's on loan. Um,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just don't. I think that they could get good money for him as well.
Yeah,
I
that's a
do.
really good call. I totally
But
forgot he was on loan, and yeah.
Forgot he was loaned.
yeah, yeah, he's a great player. It's a shame what's happened to him as well.
It's a
Yeah,
very
I
good
don't think
shout.
Enzo Maresca would be a good fit for him either, especially in like a possession-based offense, which would be the same thing as Pep. For Liverpool, I have Gakpo. I have Cody Gakpo. I think he's part of the old guard. I also just don't think he produces enough. I don't think he ever has throughout his career. Maybe I'm in the minority when I say that, but like I don't think he's ever been that good. I think he's always been a little bit overhyped. So, or
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk, but I'll go with Cody Gakpo for this. He
Yeah.
only Van Dijk has 1 year left, so there's no point.
Yeah, Van Dijk's not going anywhere. I went Federico Chiesa. Uh you just like I feel like
Forgot they even had him.
yeah, you feel like he still has that
The
I'm gonna say
moments guy.
yeah, I was gonna say dog in him, but we can go that still has those moments in him. And we saw him in the beginning of the year with Liverpool. He'd get subbed in the 80th minute and he would produce, score
Yeah,
goals or set it up. So I think it's just somewhere he can go somewhere else and be successful.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Gakpo's got to get out. I think he's.
Wow, 2 for 2, Simon
I
and I. I don't
think
know if that's a good thing or a bad thing though. After some of the earlier takes,
I think Gakpo's just shit. The
I do too.
best
I think
thing
he's shit.
Liverpool ever did was save United from buying him.
Yeah,
Like
I think Gakpo's
he's
crap.
just so poor.
Yeah, I also guess think he could maybe go back to Serie A, find a team that'll pay for him again. Probably not Juve this time around, but
Yeah, Chiesa. I mean, and Justin, you're right. He has been good. So it kind of is a shame that they didn't give him more opportunities,
Hmm.
and the fact that he was just blocked by Salah. But like last year, he could have started over Salah, but Salah's too much of
Yeah.
a bitch. Just fucking complain about not playing, even
Yeah,
though he
like
sucked.
I felt like even with Isak getting hurt for most of the year and Ekatike wasn't healthy the full year, like you felt like there'd be more time for him. But obviously
Never.
Rio came out of nowhere and
Yeah.
he kind of took over that spot. But
You know what? Shit. He was a Chelsea guy. Rio.
yeah, I know.
We're really bad at keeping good talent. Spurs. Christian Romero. I think he's a punk. Too many red cards. Bad culture. That's my notes on him. He almost went to he almost went to watch an Argentina match as opposed to watching as the captain the Spurs play their last game of the season, which would see if they stayed up in the Premier League or not. I would get rid of his ass immediately and strip him from well, obviously you'd strip him from captaincy, but yeah, that's bad culture. Continuing to
Yeah.
finish in 17th place is a culture thing.
Y-
Your captain doing that is bad culture.
Yeah, I actually went with him as well.
Oh, Ian's just fucking good at this shit.
Probably could have said sell everyone if we're being honest and just get rid of the club. But like you said, like as a leader there, I just as supposed to be the leader, I just don't think he's a good leader. I just think he brings so much negativity to that club. And I'm not saying he's a bad player because he's not an awful player, but I just think how he is as an individual with like his facial expressions, and just how his attitude is, I just think it's not good for them.
You can't have your captain getting red carded more than anybody else on your team and jetting off to miss the last match of the season to go watch a match in Argentina. Like
Mm.
it just is
yeah,
unacceptable.
Yeah, this was difficult because they're so
So
shit.
many, yeah.
Um, I actually had to ask one of my friends is a Spurs fan who he thinks to leave because I just couldn't decide who was bad enough. Vicario, they they got some of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Since Hugo Lloris left,
Onana
they've
was better
struggled.
than him.
yeah.
Onana was better.
JP.
Oh yeah, I also had Romero.
Okay.
As you guys said, the culture terrible. I mean, I'd love for him to stay as an Arsenal fan, but I do think that they could probably get some money for him as well. Because as you said, he's not a bad player. He's just an asshole. I wouldn't want him
Yeah.
on my team. I definitely wouldn't want a guy like that on my team. Um, that's what I would call cancer. You sell that immediately. And the fact that he's the captain too is beyond me. But again, as an Arsenal fan, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, 100% agree, obviously. And for Man U, I got Rashford, and it's to get the wages off the books. I'm pretty sure he's already been replaced his position at Manchester United. So they need to sell him. Otherwise, they're just going to eat up a lot of money because he gets paid a lot.
Yeah, it's true. I went Joshua Zerke. Uh I just
Another
think
guy that
he's
they just can't
again
get off the books.
he's kind of like a Gabriel Jesus. Like it just doesn't fit for him anymore. Obviously, they brought in Cunha, Mbemo, and Sesko. Like he's not getting in if he's coming off the bench in the 85th minute. Go
Oh,
somewhere
and they
else.
bought him two coaches again, too, or
Yeah,
like two
so
coaches ago. Yeah.
yeah, you may be able to get something, a little something for him. Nothing crazy, but get something rather than nothing.
So I got a little bit of a short list. One is Ugarte. Number one, get him out. I don't want to see him play in a United shirt ever again, or period. Shouldn't play the game. Then Onana needs to go. Shaw needs to be sold for a new left back. Um, I don't remember who else it was. There's a Dallo. Delo needs to go ASAP. I hate
Yeah.
watching him play so much.
All right, so Simon's cutting four. JP, are you cutting four or one, or how many? How,
Yeah,
how many are you getting rid of?
I also. Did you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I also have Rashford there. And it's so weird because I feel like he hell at Barca. Um, I don't know what's going on there. Is it an ego thing? Is it an attitude thing? I don't know. I guess we won't know until we hear more things on interviews and such. But a little unsure of why they don't want to keep him. I thought he
it's a lot
played
to do
pretty
with the
well.
weekly
So
wages. He wants to get so much weekly, I think is the problem.
Yeah,
He was on
I
like
want him.
yeah,
350K, right?
I
So
want him to stay. I think we
because
needed
yeah,
left and heat.
he's a good player. I'm wondering what they could get for him. Um, I just don't know if he fits in with them again. Maybe he does, and that'd be cool to see, even as an Arsenal fan. But I
I
guess
think
we'll
I think
see.
my big issue with selling him is that they want to sell him to Barca for 40 mil. Like, come on. That's it.
I hear you.
Doesn't do it for me.
nah. Well, that is it for our Premier League breakdown of our the Big Six squads. We're going to move into our World Cup breakdown, breaking down two matches from each of the World Cup games this first match week. So, and then we're also going to give one player from each of those matches that we're going to be on the lookout for. So I'm going to start off, and I have the France versus Senegal match on June 16th. That's going to be the first match for both of these teams. Obviously, France heading into the World Cup is a really, really big favorite. They have a really deep attack, tons of storylines up there. Who's going to start? Who's it going to be? And I think Senegal, though, as well, I think it's a very strong side. I think they can score a lot. They do have a lot of pace. Sadio Mane, Nicolas Jackson. Ismail Sarr. I definitely think they got a lot of speed up top. So I definitely think that it's going to stretch France, but I think it'll be an open match. I really do. I don't think there's going to be a lot of those first match of the World Cup feeling each other out. I think they'll get right into it. I think it'll be pretty open, fast paced physical contest. And the player that I'm looking out for in this one is going to be Michael Elise. He is a potential Ballon d'Or winner. I want to see what he's going to be able to provide because if I want to see if he can outshine Mbappe this World Cup. I think he can.
I
I think
think
he
he
can.
will. Like even in the friendlies, it just looks so disjointed. The only player that stood out in all of France's friendlies was Elise. It didn't affect him.
Yeah, absolutely. Jay, who you got as your first match to watch?
So we're going to old reliable, baby. USA versus Paraguay. Uh Listen, it's just to me, it's their biggest opening game for the United States in years since the last time the World Cup was in the United States. They're playing at home. Expectations for them, just because they are home, are very high, and everyone is talking about, maybe it's just me, about how far this team can go, depending on how they look in the group stages. And I think a win here puts them in a great position to get out of the group. A draw or loss, I think, immediately puts pressure on them and makes fans worried. So I'm just kind of looking at, like, can we handle the pressure of a home World Cup? And does the attack look dangerous enough, or do they struggle to break down a defensive team? Because I think a Paraguay team is just going to sit back a little bit, and I think It's going to depend how the USA can break them down. Like again, I think they did a really good job against Germany in that friendly that they just had, which they did outplay Germany. Obviously, they lost, but that's what I'm looking for. And the one player I'm going to look at is it's again, this is going to sound obvious. It's Christian Pulisic. This is his moment. He's in his prime. Obviously, didn't have the greatest year for AC Milan. He's the face of American soccer. Everyone's depending on him. If USA is going to make a deep run, he needs the best. He needs to be the best player on the field.
I think it might. I think it honestly depends on our defense. They look bad lately.
Tim Ream's a whole different conversation. I didn't want to bring him up, but
Um,
Simon, who do you have?
my first game to watch, I think, is Brazil versus Morocco.
It's a
I don't
good
know if you guys
one.
have
I've
watched
almost had that
any.
one.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen any of their friendlies, but I don't know. This Brazil team could be questionable.
They look
But
shaky. Not gonna lie, they do look shaky in a lot of their friendlies. They have not looked good. I have them going deep in the World Cup, but yeah,
and
they don't look promising. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm excited to see Neymar, of course, last World Cup. He's been injured. He's been playing in Brazilian league. He's not been doing crazy. And then Vinny as well.
Yeah,
See if he can take up the mantle.
for sure. JP, what do you got?
Good one. I got Netherlands, Japan.
Good game
Yeah.
too.
Very excited for that game. I think Japan is a sneaky team who will go on to the round of 32. As Netherlands will as well. I believe Netherlands actually wins that group. And then my player to watch is actually a Premier League guy. Some I think that he's a really, really sneaky good player. West Ham winger, and he's electrifying to watch. Um, I think he's a really, really good player, and I think that he is one of the names that I look out for in this tournament. That kind of puts him on the world stage and say, who's this bowler that maybe not everyone knows about? Good player.
That name did cut out. What was the name of the player that you're talking about?
Somerville.
Somerville.
Um,
Yes,
Somerville. Okay.
Somerville.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. You
Um,
literally everything else came through, and
okay.
it was blah, 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 blah,
Mystery guy. No,
blah.
it's Somerville is yeah. I've been watching him all year in the Premier
Well,
League,
he
and
balled out. Yeah, he definitely balled out for West Ham this
yeah, he
season.
was every time he touched the
Yeah,
ball against Arsenal, I cringed a little bit. So
yeah,
that's it's a good thing for him.
yeah, for sure. On to the second match, and this is going to be my second match that I'm watching. I mean, I'm going to be watching them all, but this one for me, obviously, so close to my heart. Such a team that I'm so embedded with, and the country just means so much to me. God save our king. England versus Croatia, June 17th. It's coming home. It's the beginning of the coming home party. One of the marquee matchups here. We got Thomas Tuchel, not a fan of him, but it's really high expectation for him. We're going to see what we can cook up under him. Who's going to start on the wings? I don't know. Maybe it'll be Rashford. Probably, hopefully not Saka. I just can't wait to see this match. There's a really good chance that it draws 1-1. As much as I do love England, but they can't score right now. So I think that's going to be a really big piece to the first three matches is England's inability to score goals, especially from the winger positions where they have four wingers that don't score a lot. Well, Rashford can score. And Croatia's a tough nut to crack, man. You got Luka Modric, obviously, total legend in midfield. Perisic, and Kovacic as well in midfield. You have Vardiol coming down the left side from that wing back position, just like he did at City. It's not going to be an easy match for England. It's also going to be their first match of the World Cup. I'm sure they're going to be bitching about it being hot. I'm sure they're going to be bitching about the playing conditions. Um, and my player to watch in this one, if he does play, is going to be Bukayo Saka. Because if he does not show up this World Cup, they are fucked. They cannot just depend on Bellingham and Kane to score all the goals. That is not going to work. So that is a match I am really looking forward to. Jay
Yeah.
White.
I kind of went. I probably should have said this before. My second game was the same one Simon had. Brazil versus Morocco. I think out of all the opening matchups, it's the highest quality.
Yep.
And obviously, we said Brazil don't look that great. Obviously, they are favorites to win the tournament. And obviously, we know Morocco is coming off that legendary run in
Are they
2000. Who,
over
Brazil?
France?
I said one of the favorites, or like the
One of the favorites.
yeah, one of the favorites, not the favorites. Uh, Obviously, we know Morocco had that great run in the 2022 World Cup, which really came out of nowhere. Uh, but to me, it's going to depend on what Brazil team are we going to get. And I think if this Brazil team does come out and beats Morocco, let's say 2-0, 3-1, I think they're sending a message to the rest of the world. Obviously, if they tie or lose, I think it's a different story. It says something about Morocco. But I think the one player I'm going to be watching is obviously the best left back in the world is Hakimi. Obviously, we know he's Morocco's biggest star, their captain. Sorry, I meant right back. Best right back in the world.
Mm.
Uh, but I think the chances of upsetting Brazil is going to run through him on both ends of the pitch. If they're going to shock Brazil, he's going to have to be basically involved in everything they do. So,
Yep. He's gonna have to pop in, maybe score a header. I agree. Simon, what do you
Yeah.
got?
I got the same as you. I got England versus Croatia. I think it's a huge game. I think if England show up against them, it sets the tone. But I think they could just as easily kind of fall behind if they don't do too well. And I'm really excited to see Minu in the midfield. I think he could control it. I'm ready to see him on the big stage.
Okay.
hey, did you and Ian sit together and take notes, by the way? A lot of your takes today have been very
A lot of
similar.
similar takes.
Yeah,
A
Just
lot of
meeting
very
each other
similar.
similar.
for the first time, taking notes together. How cute.
JP, what do you got? Send us home.
All right, so I went a little off the board with this one. Norway, Senegal.
That's a good one. That's
Um,
gonna be a good one.
is a game to watch for me. 12 days away. And then a player that I had, I kind of wanted to go again off the board with this, but I really like his name is Haug or Hog, Jan Petter Hog. He played for Bodo
Yes.
Glint in the Champions
Yep.
League. He
Holding
was
midfielder.
electric, absolutely
Yeah.
electric. Yeah. And I don't know if he'll start. He may come off the bench. Maybe he won't play at all. But he is really, really fun to watch. I think that I would love to see him link up with Erling Haaland and maybe Odegaard and see what he could do at the world stage. I think he's a great player.
I agree. I agree. That Norway team is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So, a lot of good matches there. And that does bring us to the end. Justin, fellas, anything you guys want to end with? Justin, you first. Anything you want to leave our followers with on the way out today?
Yeah. Make sure you guys today, we do have our World Cup bracket challenge still going on. It does close tomorrow at noon. So far, we have about 8 people in it. Uh,
Big number.
so the again, first person, well, the first place will be getting merchandise from us. And then also, we do want to say thank you. We have reached over 100 followers on Instagram. So we do thank you guys for the support there.
Absolutely. Simon, JP, anything that you want to leave our listeners with? First timers, thank you for joining the pod. And
Yes,
everybody, yeah,
absolutely.
if you do want to show up and show some love, hop on, let us know, and maybe we can fit you on. But Simon, JP, anything?
JP, you got
Simon, you want to
anything?
go ahead? Yeah. So, yeah. So, guys, again, thanks for having me on the pod. Really enjoyed it. It was a great time talking with you guys. Um, if you don't usually watch the game, the World Cup's just a great time. Obviously, we've seen it quite a few times now in my lifetime. The fact that it's here, just embrace it. It's not. It's probably not going to happen again in our lifetime. So, just take it in. It's really such a cool thing to see the best players in the world playing at this stage, right in our backyard. Um, so, yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. Thank you very much. It was great to be here. Um, I'm excited to see what happens this World Cup, and Portugal are going to win it. Sorry, guys.
I did say
We
Portugal
both we
too.
both have
I
Portugal
like the
winning it,
take.
so
I like it as well.
It's a great midfield. And listeners, as always, thank you. If you haven't already, please like, follow, give us 5 stars. We're across all platforms at this point. All the links are in the bio of this episode. And from all of us over here at the Beyond the Ball podcast. Until next time.